The USA will soon be like New York, California, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, Minnesota, and several other of the leftist hellhole states. And right after that, this country will become Venezuela. And then what are you going to do then? All right, everybody, Terrence Popp here with another episode of Live from the Lair. And today is, I believe, Sunday, November 15th. I parked my cop car for the winter and pulled out the pickup truck. I got to put some bunch of sand in the back to make sure it doesn't in circles while I'm driving, because it's rear-wheel drive and Michigan gets snow and ice, so what are you going to do? Now, I am basically going to give you an overview of what has taken place up until this point and a little bit of a projection of our future, which I hope to God I'm wrong with, but it is what it is. Now, all of you out there know I'm a conservative, all right? And I believe you should pay your own way, take care of yourself, and not have the government in your shit 24/7, 365. I do have some progressive ideals, though over the past 10 years they have radically scaled back as I have grown in wisdom.
You know, up until the coronavirus, the Millennial generation was the largest pandemic the world had ever seen. And the list of symptoms is longer than a walk to Mordor. If you have a useless college degree, live at home in your 30s, believe all women, always have an excuse for your failures, and think Bernie Sanders actually has good ideas, I got bad news for you. You've caught the stupid, and it's probably terminal. Weh? Luckily, there's a cure. Pick up How Not to Become a Millennial, a salvation guide for Generation Z, and vaccinate yourself against the soy. A link is in the description.
Biden has been called the winner of this election by the media, and it's looking like it's probably going to happen. I mean, the last briefing I did, I had Trump right around 7% chance of pulling this off. That is down now to 2, and I hope somehow it turns around. But as a betting man, I can't put money on that. It's just too far out of the realm of impossibility. Now, lo and behold, China congratulated Biden on his win. Shocker! I mean, come on. China's been paying the Biden family for decades. And Biden got out of the vice presidency, and then all of a sudden had millions of dollars. I wonder how that happened. Kind of like the Clintons, you know, and their Clinton Foundation. I mean, come on, it's a bunch of bullshit. Anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together knows that it is so corrupt at the top, the chances of actually fixing it without an insane amount of blood, pain, and misery is impossible. Another thing that goes towards the left and the Democrats pulling a successful coup is this. Top officials are caught lying to President Trump about troop numbers and withdrawal schedules. And if they were lying to him, who the hell else was lying to him? Because they're doing it without any fear of retribution, because the FBI and the other law enforcement wings are virtually powerless or don't want to do anything in regards to going after the left for their blatant criminal activity. Okay, we also had Fox News, shocker, showed its true colors and basically fell in lockstep with the rest of the mainstream media, which is no longer media, it's strictly propaganda. And to all of the conservatives out there who watch this show and watch me, don't watch them anymore. They're not telling you the truth. They're telling you their version of their truth, which is an opinion. And opinions usually have no basis in facts. Just saying. Okay, Trump's legal team has filed many lawsuits across many states. There's all kinds of word in the street about affidavits. There's video footage. There's people, coming forward from inside the, computer program company that was tabulating the votes. Even in the post office. I mean, it just stinks all the way around. I find it absolutely hard to believe Trump was ahead in many of these states by 11 o'clock on election day, and then the following morning he's losing by hundreds of thousands of votes. I'm just, statistically speaking, it's virtually impossible. Okay, but, hey, they'll be like, oh, but everyone hated Trump. Whatever. Listen, it is what it is. Half the country loved him. A small portion on the left hated his guts. And a lot of people in between were fooled by the mainstream media and blinded by hatred, which was not based in any facts whatsoever. Trump's legal team is under physical threat. A lot of them have pulled out of working for him or supporting the Republican campaign because of this. This cannot be allowed to stand. Okay, listen, this whole thing just reeks of a coup. I'm thoroughly disgusted and shocked and terrified that this is going on today. Okay, it looks like the coup will be successful for the left. We are seeing actual democracy die, and in short order, the republic. Because I really don't see a lot of the states, as soon as they see what's going on, are going to stand for this. A lot of them might just say we're pulling out, and there you go. We have Trump supporters taking to the streets. My opinion, they should have done this a long time ago. I don't know why they're waiting till after the fact that the left has blatantly showed their hand and has nullified the voices of half the country. That's exactly what happened. All right, the left is now calling for retribution lists. So half the country wants to put the other half of the country on a bad boy list that may or may not lead to arrests, re-education camps, executions, or just be financially destroyed in character assassinations. Gee, where else does that happen in the world? Oh, that's right. Communist China. The right. If you think for 1 second that this is a one-off and it won't happen again, somehow they'll magically fix this moving to the future, you are out of your mind. Because there have been elections at local levels or at state levels that have been manipulated for years. Now, they've moved up to the national election. So that means if they get away with this, everything they want to do will magically be voted into law or into policy or into the government. And everything that used to work, has a track record of working greatly, will fall to the wayside. Because nobody's voting for that anymore, and it's bad. A house divided will not stand. And that's where we're heading. I'm just putting it out there. I hope I'm wrong, but my gut is telling me it's not. This will continue. These elections will continue to be manipulated until we are basically being run by a dictator. And where you have a dictator, you have radical tyranny. All right, now moving forward, we are going to have severe economic problems. Now, I know the stock market is up. And everyone's like, yeah, the market's good, yeah. Okay, this country has basically been shut down for 7.5, 8 months. The government has been printing money, hand over fist. And what do you think is going to happen if that continues? Because Biden has said he's going to lock down the country for 4 weeks. So if we're going to do Democratic math, 2 weeks to flatten the curve was 8 months. So 4 weeks, that's 16 months to 2 years. It'll be 2023 by the time we start maybe wanting to economically get back to work. What's going to happen to the food distribution chain? What's going to happen to the fuel distribution chain? What's going to happen when no one has money to heat their houses or turn on the lights or drive their cars or get food to feed their children, families, loved ones, whatever? When you have what this is going to lead to, hyperinflation. So all that money you had in your 401k that you've been saving up for the past 40 years or 20 years for that magical day you get to kick back and relax, all of that gone. When it's $20,000 to buy a loaf of bread, how long do you think a $500,000 IRA or 401k is going to last you? 100 days? I'm just asking for a friend here because, my gut's telling me that is where this is going. Okay, let's see. Once it gets to that point, people, especially the left, are going to cry to the government like, hey, help us, help us. And the government is going to seize the means of production for food, energy, and fuel because that has historically worked everywhere else that took place. Chernobyl? I don't know. So, when they seize the means of production to save the population, you're going to get persecutions because people are going to come forward and be pissed off, which they should be. Then people are going to wind up going to prison, camps. There'll be executions because that shit's going on right now in China. The USA will soon be like New York, California, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, Minnesota, and several other of the leftist hellhole states. And right after that, this country will become Venezuela. And then what are you going to do then? Now, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. And I hope I am wrong. I really do. But my gut is telling me I'm not. History is telling me I'm not. My instincts that I've honed over 30 plus years in the military is telling me I'm not. So to all of the conservatives out there, all the people on the right or the independent people out there who see the train wreck coming, get on your goddamn feet and go do something about this before it goes off the rails. Because when it's time to fix it, when it goes off the rails, it's going to be ultra bad. Now, I hope it doesn't happen. I'm not condoning anything. I'm just a logical person, and I can see what's coming down the pipe.